Sa'yo yan.
Back yung linkage yung yung freeway, baluktot, yung sa brakes.
All right, we're live.
Bakit?
So what
Siguro bangga.
Oy, dude, ang daming natuwa last week, doon sa segment
Natuwa
mo,
saan?
Jolly.
Oh,
Yep, a lot of
Ano ulit yun?
parang
Yung
pag pinapanood ko yung pag pinapanood ko yung graph ng mga viewers natin lagi nag-dip sa Orpla sa motor.
You know, it's not we don't have the most viewers.
Internet.
We don't have the most viewers,
umuulan yun
but
eh,
we have the
umuulan.
best viewers, man.
Yun.
Yan. Tuwang-tuwa. I mean, I really liked I learned a lot about Honda bikes last week.
Weird shit that Honda made.
Oo nga.
So next time, gawa tayo ng weird stuff that Yamaha made.
Pwede, pero do they make weird stuff? Tri-City lang yung pinaka-weird na nakita ko, or the Niken.
Ninken, oo.
Or all bikes that Suzuki copied.
Hindi. Ay, shit, oo nga, ang ganda nun.
Actually, that's a good episode.
Pero
Copied
kasi
and
si
innovated.
Suzuki, hindi lang nanggagaya eh. Kaya lagi silang huli. Ginagalingan nila eh.
At saka ang gagwapo ng guest natin last week.
Oo, yun yung problema.
Sabado
Umaapaw nga
night.
doon ng sex appeal, di ba?
Oo, and
Parang
then
the fact
sobrang
na galing-
rabid yung mga fans niya.
The fact na sinabi ni Jericho Rosales yun, parang ibang klase yun.
Oo, gwapong-gwapo. But this week, mas gwapo yung mga guests natin.
Si Jericho hindi lumabas sa close-up.
This week, we have a former
Christmas
close-up
palang gwapo
model.
na.
And then we have a
70s iba.
70s former close-up model. We have another rider who was on billboards.
80s
Petron.
naman siguro yun. May kulay na eh.
Lately. Kaya lang, habol ko nga sa slide.
May
show
mga
natin
guests
yung
na tayo, may mga viewers.
Hello, Jaime. Thank you for dropping by.
evening.
Good to see you again. Good evening.
Hi, Aris.
Siyempre, si Boss Aris.
Wow, binos si Aris.
And si Fred Teng. Hey, Fred. What's up? Aris, medyo interesting yung show natin tonight.
Iba, Aris, ano yan na?
Si Aris.
Ay,
Si Aris Ilagan.
Oo nga, no? So he's like...
Tatako ba't mo binubos?
Oo nga, no?
Nakita ko pala speaking of Aris
ABM.
Ilagan.
Yung magpapacheck
pauwi ako sa C5.
nila, prostate
Ang laki nung billboard nung Top Bikes,
I think, yeah. Top Bikes is awesome, man.
Ang laki nung billboard nila. As in parang, wow.
In a previous life, editor-at-large ako ng Top Bikes. A long time ago when it was a magazine.
Iba, nga minsan, daan nga ako sa bahay mo, pa-autograph nga yung na yun, yung issue ko na yun.
Meron may issue ka ba nun?
Meron ako ng dalawa pa nga yata eh.
O yun.
yung naka-Harley si Iba.
Hindi.
Hey, Han,
pangalawa na
Raymond,
yun.
Gabriel.
Yung na S1000.
Kung may mga tanong kayo,
Ayun, mga medical na tanong.
mga
Ngayon
prostate, yung mga ganon, puso, high blood pressure.
Mga prostate,
Impotence.
mga prostate. Mga saan maganda mag-ride, maliban sa Cafe Mesa.
Oo,
Ang dami
Cafe
tayo.
Mesa, ride review. Hey, Richard Bolt. We've got a viewer from Japan.
From the land of rising orange.
Rising Orange Orb.
Dapat si Richard
June
Bolt,
Bautista, mga boss ko, guest
brand ambassador na
tonight.
dapat eh. Tomorrow, mamaya na lang.
All right, so we're gonna get some free medical advice tonight for riders.
Sabagay. Tama.
Sarap ng ride natin the other day, guys. Daming nagagalit na hindi natin yinaya eh.
Hindi ko bahay yun.
To be clear, okay, si Jolly nag-organize and siya yung hindi nag-invite sa inyo. Kasi
Ako yung
hindi niya
ako
bahay.
Basically, parang, oy Jolly, punta ka dito. Ako lang. Sabi ko ng tropa mo, mga 3, 4. Yun lang.
Oh,
Uy!
nawala si Buck.
Wala si Bak.
Magic.
Hindi, nagre-research na yung tatanong niya mamaya eh.
Okay. So, yeah, tonight on Tunay Na Rider, it's going to be another really fun episode. Like I said earlier, we will have guests. One was a former close-up model, which I just found out about and blew my mind.
Close-up model with Lauren Legarda.
Naks. Grabe.
Grabe,
Heartthrobs
diba?
talaga yung mga guests natin.
Mm.
And then another
Ano pa?
had a couple of billboards.
Mang Petron. Model ng langis.
And kawawa yung pangatlo. Kasi hindi siya close-up, hindi siya model. We'll also have, as usual, Meme Moto. Meme Moto is going to be super short, but really informative, I think, for our viewers. They're going to enjoy this one. It's only one meme. And then finally, Jolly will be talking about Oro Plata Moto. And this one is going to be a bit intense because we're going to be talking about the 790 adventure made in the Philippines. And we're going to be talking about some health safety statistics and motorcycles. And we'll be getting the input from our doctor buddies. And before we go into the Tunay Na Rider of the Week, I just want to say hi to our awesome viewers. Hey, Dad. Romy Bernardo. Hey, Tito J. Tarok.
Tito J.
Hey, Uncle Alvin D. Sana
Si
manalo
Alvin D,
ka
oh.
ulit ng Turatech shirt.
890 na pinopromote ni Alvin, no? Hindi na BM.
890 na. Oy, baka nandun si Sir Hill. All right, so let's go with Tunay Na Rider of the Week. Sola, run the intro. Oh. Where are they?
Oh, nawala.
Nawala. Hey, yon.
Yon.
All right.
Yan.
Good
Sorry, Doc
evening.
Francis. We didn't have any. You didn't have any close-up commercial. You didn't have any billboards to share.
He's the one financing all these things, you know.
That's right. He is the sponsor. He's the one who finds us on gigs. So we've got Doc Francis, Doc Benji, and Doc Rollie. I've ridden with these guys for over a decade. Tama ba?
Yeah. Ako 2009.
Wow, more. 11 years. 11 years na kami
11
nag-ride. We've gone through thousands and thousands of kilometers, and every time I ride with Doc Francis and Doc Rollie, I learn something. When I ride with Doc Benji, he just makes me laugh a lot. I don't know about learning stuff. So you guys are our Tunay Na Riders of the Week, and thank you for joining us. Let me just load up our super simple script, and we'll start from the left, and then we'll just go to the right when you ask these questions. All right. So how did you guys get into riding? Doc Rollie?
Hi. First of all, mayong gabi sa tanan. How did I get into riding? Oh, wait. Even before that, I've been observing Doc Triggs since kanina pa, no? And I've noticed something changing. I think his skin is getting orange. So maybe, I don't know why. Anyway,
Social ni
Anyway.
Doc Triggs eh.
yeah. Anyway, I started riding. I think I got into the game pretty late. No, as a kid or as a youngster, I've been wanting to ride, but you know how it is. As youngsters, you have all these hurdles to go through, starting with your parents, girlfriend, wife, children, whatever. Okay, and so that got put on the back seat as far as I'm concerned. But the passion, I think, was still there, and I remember I'd buy motorcycle magazines without reading too much into motorcycle technicals, as much as looking at the pictures of motorcycles and their riders, and imagining myself to be in their boots. So it was there at the back of my mind until I got to about, especially since I became a doctor, then it's something that would raise eyebrows if I did ride a bike now. And approaching my 50s, my kids grew up and I had sort of less obligations to them. I had the money to buy, and so that's when I started riding. I didn't want to go.
So
through
how old
the
were you, Doc?
Basics.
Rollie?
I think almost 50. Some of them.
Oh, wow. So
And,
based on the stats that you shared, that's probably like the safest age to get into riding, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So, but I had one condition from my wife, and that is to stay alive. So before I did into any serious riding, I took up riding classes. I kept on
Yun.
practicing, and I never went out without gear, the proper gear. So more or less that's how I got into riding. And I've been riding since. That's almost 16 years ago. And then I met you guys.
You're based in a place that is perfect for riders.
I
Right?
would say
The Iloilo is
so.
beautiful. Sobrang envious kami every time you and Gilly share these wonderful ride pictures of places we can never get to now.
Well, for one thing, unlike you guys who have to ride out of Manila and pass through the different cities, our ride out of Iloilo City is just like a 5 to 10 minute motor. And
Kakaingit.
then andun na kami sa great outdoors. So,
And it's toll free.
toll free for the moment. Hopefully it stays that way.
Ikaw, Doc Benj,
So that's it.
how do you get
Hi.
into riding?
Oh, yeah. When I was a little kid, not really little, maybe in the 40s, I I went to Tagaytay, and then I was going down Tagaytay in my car, and then I saw this huge bike and this mayabag looking rider standing up on a big motorcycle. Sabi ko, when I grow up, I want to be like him. So I grew up in a couple of weeks. I bought a motorcycle.
Well, let me guess what bike that was. Was it a GS?
I had no idea then. I had no idea. But soon after, I went to Jake Juan's motorcycle course, and that's how I learned the basics of what is it again? I can't remember even.
MSF.
Yes.
Motorcycle Safety Foundation.
I did that course also. I forgot that my dad and I did that course, the MSF, like in a parking lot. And Jake Swan was the first pioneer of motorcycle safety in the
Right.
country. That's
That
right.
Alam mo,
That was in
pinsan ko si
BGT.
Jake Swan, pero di ako nag-MSF.
Okay. Ikaw, Doc France. Go ahead. Are you Doc Benji?
Yeah, that says a lot about Jake Swan siguro, no? Charlie. Pero wala kang tiwala, no?
Okay. Ikaw, Doc Francis. How do you get into riding?
Second year high school. Good evening muna sa lahat. Maraming nabanggit.
Okay lang, yung mga nanonood lang sa atin, yung mga hombres, Doc Francis. So you don't, just be, sila Richard, sila Alvin.
Baka umaabot ka na sa Bicol sa amin. So I got
Abot na nga
into
sa Iloilo,
riding. Second year high school, my grandmother had a few tricycles. So one time they were fixing the sidecar, welding, and they detached the motorbike. And
Yun.
that's when I started to ride
Tinakas
a
na.
motorbike. Tinakas na.
Tinakas
And
mo
I
ba, Doc?
immediate-
Kasi
and I
karamihan ng mga
immediately
guests
crashed.
namin. Karamihan ng mga guests namin tinatakas yung mga motor nila. Except for,
Yes,
this is the first time Doc Benji and Doc
Parang
Rollie are responsible.
Si Doc Rollie responsible person eh. Lahat ng guests namin dati talaga tinatakas against their parents' will.
Or in Doc Francis' case, grandparents.
Again sa lola.
So you got into
Namin kinwento yun.
So you got into a spill, Doc?
Yes, because I learned how to ride while the motorcycle was attached to the sidecar.
Rear brake.
So,
Walang
and then
counter steering.
may kabig siya, 'di ba, pag nasa
Oo.
tricycle. So nung tinanggal 'yon,
Instinctive.
my mind failed to compute that there would be no pull to the right. So I immediately corrected to the left and fell.
I think feeling ko sobrang common na story yan. Because a lot of people started that way eh. Diba?
tricycle.
Sanay na may sidecar and then biglang walang counterbalance, counter steering on a sidecar. And gumagamit sila ng sorry, I'm super distracted. Jolly, galit pa rin si Gino Rufino. Tunay na no invite yung sinabi niya.
Gino, si Doc John Gomez yung nagyaya, hindi ako.
I'm sorry, Gino. Next time, you are my first call. All right. Oh, sarap. Sarap. It was the longest ride. It was the longest ride I've done in almost a year. And because we haven't been going out, it was a 5-hour ride and sobrang pagod ako. And nakagamit ko scooter, ah. Oh, si Sir Hill Balderas.
Online na, yari.
Yari ka, Doc Benji.
Pati si Alvin nayari.
All right. Sorry. Going back, Doc Rollie, the next question is, what is your most awesome or most epic bike ride or story? I have one with you. And it was when I started riding. That was about a decade ago. It was the first time we did the Visayas Loop, and I was riding behind Doc Rollie, and he was on an R1150, and he took a spill. There was a dog that crossed the road or something, and I was a new rider, so I had no idea what to do. So I pulled over, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, wait, let's wait for a doctor, let's wait for an ambulance, and I'm in a location that I don't know anyone. You guys were our hosts. And Doc Rollie's like in pain and I guess kind of irritated. I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing. Tom Clemente, our Negros ride. Yeah, that's right.
Iba nakaka-distract yung comments. Nag-aaway na sila.
Yeah, Iba. I would consider that one of the epic rides. I remember that time. When you guys brought me to some hospital there, and there was no doctor, there was no X-ray,
no film,
no radio. Well, there was no film to hospital, and we had to buy. I had to buy outside and bring it. And then the doctor in charge said, "Sir, we don't have any radiologist to interpret." Sabi ko, it's no problem. I can interpret. Ako na lang.
Self-service.
Doc Rollie, na-imagine ko yun eh, parang, wala ba kayong doctor dito? Wala po eh. Well, you have one now.
Ako na lang.
Pinakyaw ko eh. Pasyente na, doktor pa. So, anyway, I think I was feeling pain in my right wrist, as well as in my back. So I had my wrist and my chest taken. And I think I missed. Well, I was sure I had no wrist fracture, but I missed the rib fractures I had, only to find out 3 months after, I had fractures on 3 of my ribs.
Wow!
That time, that was my.
How did you miss? Didn't that hurt? I mean, for 3 months, weren't you wondering that?
Well, it would hurt. Remember, we were going to Boracay then, and every movement I did was painful, and of course my bike wasn't there anymore. I had to carry my gear, helmet, jackets, and gear. And every time I'd swing my bag over my back, I would shout, "Aray!" And that I didn't mind it. And I even went to when I did go back to Iloilo. I tried, because my body was hurting, I tried to get a massage and syempre
Oh.
pagdaan dyan, aray, sakit. But then eventually it left. Then 3 months after, because I always do an annual X-ray for my lungs, and my body radiologist said, "Oh, you have an old fracture of 3 of your ribs here." Sabi ko, "Huh?" Then that's when I remembered that, and when I realized I did have a fracture. But the problem was the quality of the film of the X-ray wasn't good, so that's my excuse. Why I didn't see it.
Pag may nagtanong kay Doc Rollie, parang, how tough are you? Pwede mo isagot, I had a body massage with 3 broken ribs.
Macho.
Well, I had to tell the masseuse to take it easy in the back. So, sakit.
But I mean, any other epic rides that you've done, Doc? You and Gilly seem to be riding all of these beautiful places.
Well, we did in the Philippines. We would do our northern loop, and for me, all those rides are epic because there are different experiences each time we ride. We did Mindanao loop, and 2 years ago we rode sa Europe, sa Alps. And,
Oh yeah, with sila Sir Hill and Alvin and
yes.
sila Toto.
Well, no, we were in the same. We were there at the same time, but we rode with a different group. So for me, mostly all my long rides I found them to be epic, and perhaps that's the beauty of riding, wherein not every ride is the same. Even if you go, the same route, the rides are totally different every time. So I would say pretty much epic lahat yan.
That's true. That's true. Ikaw naman, Doc Benj. You've also been riding nonstop.
When I was much
What-
younger. Yeah. Well, siguro I've done the Ironman twice. So those rides were epic. Especially the first one, I was with somebody else. We rode up to Pagudpod and then went down, and then in Vegan, nasiraan siya ng bike, and I had to go all by myself.
Wow.
And then up to Baguio. We had Baguio then. We went up to Baguio, and then going down to Cannon Road at 9 o'clock in the evening is really scary. And I was all by myself. But I didn't know, I didn't have anything better to do. So sabi ko, tuloy ko na lang. So that was scary, in Cannon Road.
Yeah, I bet.
I was on a
Strict lights.
GS, so good evening.
During the yung mga GS and Cannon Road in Ironman, there are a lot of people who kind of take spills in that area, diba? Lalo na, that's one of the most dangerous parts of the Ironman.
If you go fast. I go slow. And then there's another ride pala with you guys. We went to Davao, no?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
Manila
that's
to
right.
Davao. Wow. Oh, and I got
That's
lost somewhere in
beautiful.
Agusan. And it was Lolong's time. Do you remember Lolong?
Yep.
That biggest crocodile ever in the Philippines that was discovered. I was all alone in Agusan. Again, I got lost. So I just visited Lolong in the park. Sabi ko, dito
When
na rin
in
ako.
Davao,
So
to Agusan. So
I was
visited
with-
him when he was still alive.
I was with Toto, and we were doing the Ride for Light, and nasa Agusan Marsh kami, and we were visiting the floating schools. And I was clueless about that area. And we were in this bangka. And then I was just running my hand up around the water. And then sabi ng kasama namin, sir, ingat, may bata na kinain ng crocodile. And then a week later, lumabas yung news about Lolong. I thought he was joking. Kasi, di ba? A week later, when I see the news about Lolong, nanghina talaga ako. Like, I was like,
I shouldn't be alive.
Pare, I would make a really good meal for crocodile. Ikaw, Doc Francis. Doc Francis and I have ridden a lot. We've gone to quite a few places. We rode in the US and we did North Loop kaming tatlo with Gaspar, diba? What for you is your most epic or awesome ride? You've been doing a lot of great off-road trails now.
Yeah. Sa akin yung all the long rides for me are epic. And then the beautiful off-road rides are also epic. Pero I would have siguro kung to choose, if I were to choose ano yung pinaka-epic. I can think of two. The first is 2 years ago we did the ride to Davao via Katiklan, Iloilo, Bacolod. We met up with Doc Rollie, who hosted us, who hosted our first lunch on the road. On
Always the
island.
best host, sila Doc Rollie.
Yes. We had great food. I was with a few hombres and si June Bautista, the owner of Racing World in Bacoor, Cavite, who's watching right now. Hello, June. Good shop, good service, good products. And Boylit, si Jingo, si Richie, and si Big Bird. So a small crew that went all the way to Davao. And then pabalik via Leyte naman, Samar, Bicol. Kwan yun, 10 days. 10 days on the road. So grabe, that was my longest time continuously riding. Epic talaga yon.
10 days is no joke.
Yeah. But after 3 days, ayoko nang umuwi. Parang gusto ko na lang ituloy mag-ride.
Yep. There's that 3-day hump, no? Na uwing-uwi ka na. If you get over that hump, parang it's just a normal day na.
Yeah, and you just wanna keep on going. Parang,
Yep.
At parang hindi ka na rin napapagod. Parang you break through a certain wall and then you're just happy. You know,
Yep.
All the time you're just happy. The other epic ride actually was my first ride to Bicol. We went to Sorsogon on the KTM that's now with Buck. Yeah.
Ay, yung
And I
990.
got the 990. And I got hit by an elf truck yung sa local electric cooperative.
Buck, you didn't know that.
Buck is like, what?
Now you know.
What?
I sustained a fracture on my left wrist. And masakit siya. And doon kami, si Albert and Richie. Tatlo lang kami. We were riding back to Manila from Donsol. We had a very nice lunch brunch actually in Donsol. And we were on the way back to Manila, planning to sleep in Calawag, Quezon. So,
Beautiful roads in Donsol. Nice.
and
sweeping
umuulan
curve.
lahat. But it kaya epic siya ganito. I had to call my wife and tell her what happened, and she had to send the van to pick me up, and sinakay namin sa truck yung na Richie, sinakay namin sa another truck yung 990. It was running walang problema yung 990.
Bako,
Except
walang
that
problema.
yung crash guard,
Oo.
na-bend siya kasi siya yung tumama. Yung ulo ko saka yung crash guard ang tumama dun sa truck. So it got dented and pushed on the round the tube, the metal tube coming out of the radiator. So na-dent lang siya ng konti. Kaya steam was coming out. Pero one click after the accident, after I regained consciousness, one click din siya.
Pero that's, I mean, a KTM already rides hot, right? So it's kind of scary if the radiator's punctured.
Hindi siya na-puncture. Yun lang na-dent yung metal tube coming out of the radiator. So the rubber tube that was connecting to it, kahit na may clamp siya, sumisingaw yung steam.
Okay.
Nice white steam. Pero sabi ko, hindi tayo abot ng kalawang ito. So,
Make special effects.
sinakay na lang. Para ka nag-skydive na may canister na may smoke. Ganun yung dating ng 990.
Astig yun, ah.
May
So, sinakay na lang.
effects.
But the funny thing is, ganito, despite the pain, the accident, the trauma and all, masaya pa rin ako. So, kumusta ka? Sabi ni Nina, I'm okay. Masaya pa rin.
The funny
You
thing
know-
is, naibenta mo pa kay Bakpago, Pogi. That's the funny thing. Ito ko yung kilay ni Bak pag ganun na pag ganun.
So my dad says there's a certain kind of crazy that bikers have, and you got to be a lot crazier than that to be a doctor who rides, because you know what can happen. You've got, and we'll go into that a little bit later in the show. But yeah, Doc, and you're still riding after all of these.
I'm addicted to riding, and the happiness it produces from the hormones that's produced from riding.
Yeah, and we'll also get into that a little bit later in Meme Moto. Okay, so I get a lot of tips from you guys because you're medical professionals, right? But do you have any bike tips? What do you do to prepare for these long rides, like Ironman or anything? When you do those awesome rides with Gilly, Doc Rollie. Let's start with you.
Well, since I started late, I made it a point to get the basics of riding. That's why, like most of you, or you and Triggs, I also took up lessons from Jake Swan. And I did my own, beyond that, I did my own reading. And I even took an off-road, also with Gilly and some few other fellows, my off-road riding in Bangkok. Yung ano nga ba yun? Enduro Camp, Thailand.
Yeah, I saw those pictures. That looked like fun.
Yeah, that's from the educational standpoint, and practice always when the skills that you learn, and that's with the riding. Now for myself, I do a lot of conditioning exercises, strengthening, stretching, as well as endurance, and in a way, riding is also therapy for me. So riding in itself might be the objective, but it's also I use it also as the how do I put it, ingredient for riding effectively, enjoyably, and things like that.
Oh, that's something I've noticed among the three of you, Doc Rollie, Doc Triggs, and Doc Francis, is that you guys take health very, very seriously. And conditioning, exercise, and you think about, cross training and really preparing your body for these rides. That's a great tip.
Kailangan na natin
I
yan.
need that. Yeah, I need that. I need to get a little bit more of that.
It came a bit easy for me because as an orthopedic surgeon,
And
I
a
needed,
former close-up model. Yeah.
wala
Wow.
yan.
Photo model?
Quite chismoso.
We'll share the link later on our page.
We never knew that, huh?
Okay, ikaw, Doc Benj. Do you have any tips that you can share with with our viewers? Many are seniors, like my dad.
Of course, all the gear all the time, right?
All the gear, all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes I follow that and sometimes I forget. But anyway, I can't ride without a built-in or maybe I get from Lazada or Shopee, the TPMS tire pressure monitoring system.
Yan.
I've been saved twice. May rebar akong nasagasaan, biglang flat yung gulong ko, no?
Oh.
Yeah.
Rebar.
Sa EDSA yun, no? Biglang nagsabi yung nag-blink agad yung, well, that was a GS 1200. Sir Hil Barderas, if you're listening.
Oh.
So lumabas ka agad.
The GS 1200 was one of the first bikes to have standard TPMS
Yeah,
built in.
so I was saved by that kasi tumabi kagad ako, no? But yung mga bikes ngayon na wala, I just go to Lazada, may disposables sila yung for 1 year or 2 years, binibili ko na yun, no? And they're
Pag
pretty
bibili
reliable.
kayo ng TPMS sa Lazada, gamitin nyo yung affiliate link namin.
Para kumita
Yun.
naman kami.
Oo, popost
We
namin
will-
mamaya yan.
Doc Ben,
Okay.
share us the link and then para may 50 pesos kami bawat transaction.
Nakabili na eh.
Hindi, para sa mga viewers.
Okay,
Si Sir
yeah.
Gilbert Valdera said, ha ha ha, thanks Doc Benji.
Namumuhula na si Doc Benji.
Hi, Sir Hill.
Sir Hill, wait for the punchline.
Look at what I'm wearing, huh? Oh, good.
All right. Ito, Doc Francis, whenever I ride with him, there's always something new that I add to my ride pouch, my top case. For example, yung oral hydride solution. I think that was a huge breakthrough. Like, whenever I would ride now, I just bring that with me and then mix it into water and drink that. Doc Francis, are there any other tips that you can give?
Well, other than the regular exercises, mga 3 to 6 times a week to prepare my body for the ride, maintenance medications. Palaging meron. And a first aid kit, of course, kasi siyempre doktor ka, and a few times it's actually been used. Sa Marilake, I've actually parang picked up 3-4 bikers already. One of them was even a general with a broken elbow, fractured yung kanyang yung tip, yung distal third ng humerus niya was fractured. So it comes in handy.
Doc Francis, kayo lang makakaintindi kung ano yun.
Bali yung
Okay, there you
elbow.
go. There we have a visual.
Bali yung
Okay,
elbow.
perfect.
Bali yung siko. Yun. And tawag nito, other than the rehydration salts, yung hydride that I never ride without it. Meron din akong dalang candy or snack, just in case, and water, para just in case something happens, may nag-breakdown, we get stranded for a few hours. May tubig and some nutrition na nandyan.
Oh,
na-trauma ako because of that. I rode one of my first ever long rides was with Philip and Boylip. And there was a bridge, a perfectly fine wooden bridge, and then there was a river. See, Boylip decided to cross the river. He fell immediately. So we had to go in, fish the bike out. No idea what to do. We were stuck in Aurora in one of the dirt roads for most of the day. I had no water. I had no food. I had nothing. I was so thirsty. So every time, I always have... Pwede ka bumili ng gin sa mga sari-sari store doon, pero hindi ka pwede bumili ng tubig.
Tsaka wala pang food panda nun.
Wala pang
Tsaka
food
Grab
panda. So
food,
palagi
wala pang
may
ganun.
baon ako na tubig.
Oy,
So,
iba,
napag-usap-
si Raymond Gabriel, nosebleed na raw siya sa'yo.
He said that when Doc Francis was talking.
So iba, anong inisip mo noon nung wala kang provisions? Parang, guys,
Wala akong magagawa.
Sinong una nating kakainin?
Ako, syempre, I would feed everyone. If you're looking at the common good, di ba?
Wait, I see some comments here, Mr. Samson. I agree with you. Tire puncture kit is very important.
Yes, palagi. Yes.
Tapos may binili ko yung sa pag-recharge ng battery, yung the power bank.
Oh, yeah, the USB ones. I have one of those.
Oo,
pwede
importante
pang
rin
jump.
yun.
Meron din sa Lazada noon, gamit ang aming
Yes.
affiliate links.
Yun, we will. Oh, and Ninong Grandpa Eric Manangkil says, Hombres Doctors. Congratulations, Ninong Grandpa. Ang daming
May I-
blessings this couple of months.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Doc Francis mentioned about the medical kit earlier on. You might find this funny, but in my medical kit, I usually include feminine napkins. And
Huh?
you might be
Yeah.
surprised, huh? You might be, but you see, instead of gauze bandages, if you want to treat wounds, you know, tawag nito, feminine
It's
napkins, they are
getting
very,
interesting.
very absorbable, and they are clean. They're actually almost sterile. They might be sterile, and you can buy them anywhere, no? Rather than tawag nito, yung mga gauze bandages that you have to buy from a drugstore. So
Oh.
I keep
Mabango pa.
Mabango pa. Depende kung ano.
May
Pero hindi
wings.
na kay-
May wings
Hindi na
pa.
kailangan may wings. Hindi na kailangan.
So you go to a sari-sari store and ask for a feminine napkin?
Right. Why not? I mean, you know,
Sa bagay, lahat meron dun eh.
Oh.
di ba? Or
Life
kung
hacks,
kunyari may
Man, that's really great.
You might even want to offer that to your female companion, whoever, in times of need. Pero that's one thing I have added lately to my medical kit.
Richard
And-
Bolt has
and they're
something very
pre-packed.
interesting to say. Eva, sorry. Richard Bolt has something very interesting to say. A repair kit for the KTM. Is that something that we need, Richard?
An indicator repair kit. Okay, admittedly,
So,
Ano yan? Fuel indicator.
Okay.
admittedly,
actually, yung blinkers, dali maputol.
for the old KTMs, that is the weak spot talaga, yung signal lights. But going back to the feminine napkins, it's great also because they're pre-packed, right? So as opposed to gauze na,
Yeah.
the roll.
Individually packed. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
come out cheaper. They're cheaper.
Medyo ano lang, maganda lang dapat yung pagkakapack mo sa bag mo. Kasi lalo na kung selosa ang asawa natin, pagbukas mo ng bag with feminine.
And then,
Para
sabihin nyo,
I can explain.
that's
I can explain.
You have to
that's
save this. Ano?
That's scientifically advised.
She's
Oh,
not
yeah.
pregnant. You can tell that she's not pregnant.
Safe.
All right.
Mas able to use that.
Safety tips pa pala, no? Avoid Marilake and maybe Tagaytay going up on weekends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the weekends are the worst.
Oh, never
Parang
yun.
laki road accident, Tagaytay, COVID.
Luckily, Buck, Jolly, and I can ride on weekdays, and so can Doc Francis and Doc Rollie. All right. So finally, the last question, Doc Rollie. What does it mean to be a Tunay Na Rider to you?
Bigat naman ng tanong na yun.
Ang bigat.
Yeah, that's how we always end it.
Yeah. Tunay Na Rider. For me, I think for most of us, riding is a passion. So a Tunay Na Rider would keep up with his passion, would live his passion, whether he's able to do it early on in life or late, in my case, as in my case. And, the passion will always be there. You can nurture it. But with the realization and the acceptance that this passion carries with it a lot of responsibility, that you make yourself safe for yourself and for other people. So you do whatever you have to do in that process. More or less,
Yun.
that's the Tunay Na Rider.
A passionate and responsible rider is a Tunay Na Rider. All right,
May
Doc,
comment tayo rito kagaling
Okay,
kay
may
Michelle
Michelle.
Manuel.
si Doc
Oh.
Michelle. Doc Michelle. Sola, can we bring that up? I think we need to have this highlighted. No, Doc Michelle. Yon.
Yan.
Can you see that, Doc Rollie?
Yeah,
She will give you some
really-
tips.
Pa-comment na lang para malaman ng lahat ng riders.
Oh, Doc Michelle, if you can just comment so that all the riders know which brands they should
Yeah.
buy.
What are those?
So she's
It's
saying,
not-
Doc Rollie, let me give you some tips on which are the most absorbent. And she's talking about feminine napkins.
Dapat
I have a
andito
question
si
for
Michelle,
Doc Michelle. Doc Mickey, are thin napkins as absorbable as the regular napkins because they're easier to pack, the thin ones.
Oo nga, oo nga.
I'll take it.
Hindi ka
Let's
kain
wait
ng
for her to
ano.
answer that. Okay, so Doc,
for our first aid kits to just being clear.
yeah, Doc Benji.
Yeah, right.
Now, what is your incredibly funny answer to what Tunay Na Rider means to you?
Oh, it's not fun. It's serious.
Nax.
A Tunay Na Rider is somebody who enjoys riding and with a passion. Totoo yan. Even if you're riding an Underbone, an XRM, Wave, a GS, a KTM, Richard, if you're having fun, then you're a Tunay Na Rider. Diba? You prefer riding rather than being in a cage.
Yep.
Gusto ko. You're a Tunay Na Rider.
Agree. I have almost as much fun on my 15,000 peso motorcycle. Yeah, as with my big bike.
Big
Ito,
ass.
maglabas na kayo ng napkins niyo, not the feminine kind, because I'm pretty sure Doc Francis's definition will move us to tears and inspire. Nax. So Doc Francis, what is Tunay Na Rider to you?
2 words yung sa akin. Yung one is responsible, which was already explained by Rollie. The other is considerate. Yung considerate ka on the road for the other riders and drivers who are using it, the pedestrians, including the tricycles, and the jeepneys, even if they may be irritating many times, we still have to be considerate. And then more importantly, be considerate about your family. So I always make it a point that my wife knows anywhere and everywhere I go, and I make sure I don't schedule any rides on important days that I should be somewhere else and not riding. And yung
Hindi ka makakaulit.
hindi ka na makakaulit. So,
Speaking from experience,
yun.
Doc,
Consideration of family, spouse, especially other people who are using the road, and the people you are riding with as well.
You know, that's true, Doc. I think you've hit the nail on the head, because us as a riding group, our hodgepodge group called the Hombres is, if anything, a very considerate group. There's really no selfish person in that group. You think about everybody else. You always take that into consideration. And I would like to add also that we have to be considerate of the areas that we visit, because we are guests there, right? We have to show respect to those communities, to the people there, and not be bastos as we scream through their barangays.
Welcome, Dr. Eric Yapchuanco. He's a very well-known aesthetic, plastic surgery, reconstructive surgeon. He's here watching now, Dr. Yapchuanco. He's a member of, he's a member of Bikers MD, if you are familiar with Bikers MD. All 3 of us are members. So we are, there's 177, 78 biker MDs.
Ang dami
Strong.
Nationwide.
Nationwide, yeah. No? So, pag may kilala kayong biker MD and you get stranded somewhere, get into an accident anywhere in the Philippines, may biker MD dyan na tutulong sa inyo.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if there are other doctor riders, how do they join Bikers MD?
If you have a motorcycle and then somebody invites you in, we have a 1 week parang probationary period. If hazing. If nobody has a violent reaction to your coming in, then you're accepted. That's it.
A friend of mine who's a doctor was telling me that hazing of doctors are the worst, because they know where it hurts and they know how to bring you back.
Walang ebidensya.
Walang ebidensya rin. All right. On that note, that is the end of Tunay Na Rider of the Week. And take it away, Buck Poggy.
Teka, yung ano
Oh,
muna,
wait.
yung mga gustong
Sorry.
sumali sa raffle.
Correct.
I-share nyo yung live stream na to, i-like nyo yung page namin, tapos siguraduhin yung naka-public yung share nyo para makita ni Mr. Producer kung sino yung mga kasali sa raffle.
Yun, and let's
Ayos.
spin that wheel now.
Uy, ano ba yung mga premyo?
Oo nga.
Whatever I've got.
Turatec.
Under Armour, Turatec,
Under Armour, ano pa yung isa?
Turatec, and Otterbox.
Otterbox.
Yun.
Oh, ito, medyo marami-rami kasali. Spin
Yun.
na natin to.
Spin
na natin.
that wheel.
Angelo Pasqua. Yan.
Angelo, please message us. If you don't message us, we will forget.
Isa sa requirement namin, kailangan mo i-follow up.
Please follow it up.
Kasi nakakalimutan namin eh.
I just sent out the prizes of Dino and Carl today pa lang, and they won like 2 weeks ago. All right. Buck, take it away.
Game.
Mimi Moto.
Mimi
Asan na
Moto
si,
Sola.
asan na si Sola, yan. Actually, isa lang to eh. Si Jolly pa nga naghanap na to eh. Dan. Yeah.
Yun. Because this is our Dr. Rider episode.
So,
Our meme, we only have one meme this week, and it's not really a meme. It's a headline from the Daily Mail. Tama
totoo
ba?
daw to ah.
Carlos on Aranita.
All
Ito
right.
yan?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead. Go.
Oh, totoo daw tong article na to, sabi ni Jolly. May-
Man sues BMW after 4-hour motorcycle ride leaves him with a 2-year erection. Mga
Damn.
doctors, ano yung medical?
Si Doc Triggs,
Explanation
tanungin
dito.
natin.
Oo, siya yung BMW, ano eh.
Is it
Expert.
true that
mangyayari ba yan?
BMW will cause you to
Nangyayari
have
ba yan?
a
Pero,
4-year,
You have to
a
know
2-year erection?
na nakalagay ridge-like seat. And it's only KTMs I know that have ridge-like seats. Very comfortable yata ang BMWs. So I don't know if it's this fake news or not. Okay ba, Sir Hill?
Oh,
Yun. All right.
Safe.
Safe answer. But there we were chatting about this earlier, Doc Francis, no? And I guess we can take this away na Sola. We were chatting about this earlier. And riding motorcycles do really have physical and mental benefits to people. I mean, we were joking about it, but yeah, you want to share what your thoughts on that, Doc Francis?
Yeah, actually, there are 4 hormones, neurochemicals or hormones that our body produces that makes us happy or gives us the sensation of happiness. So these 4 are dopamine, called the happy hormone. The second one is oxytocin, which is the love hormone.
meron ako yan.
And endorphin, which is like the one that gives you euphoria. Parang may effect na tulad sa morphine, which is a drug.
Morphine.
And
ano ba yan?
serotonin. Serotonin is actually an antidepressant, anti-anxiety. So when
all
you
of these
ride,
things lead to erections.
better.
2-year erection.
Better erection.
Kasi these 4 hormones, that makes you happy are produced when we ride. Paano? Okay. When we ride, we are able, especially long rides, there's a sense of achievement, of accomplishment. And we learn new things about our bikes, about ourselves, about our bodies. And we laugh with friends. And we do satisfying things like even eating unhealthy food. All these things that I mentioned will stimulate the production of dopamine. Our body will produce dopamine because of that. Now, the laughter with friends plus the bonding it creates, when you're with a group of kindred spirits of like-minded people, seeing their smiles, interacting with them, also increases the level of oxytocin that our body produces. And similar to physical exercise that makes our body produce endorphins, going through an uncomfortable, challenging experience like riding on a bike, engaging your core muscles, your legs, especially when you do off-road riding, and then eating satisfying food as well, leads to the production of endorphins. And then the fourth hormone, sunlight, is one of the stimuli that makes our body produce more serotonin. Serotonin is actually the target of many antidepressant drugs. It's a very potent
Ah.
antidepressant neurochemical. And the other thing that stimulates production of serotonin is, again, the smiles that we see, the happiness that we see when we are with other riders.
Or
And then,
riding a specific kind of bike.
or a specific kind
There's
of,
there's one bike that always gives me a smile but scares the hell out of me. And that's Doc's
Uh,
old bike.
yes, that was also the bike that made me the happiest the most, gave me the most happiness when even when I met that accident in
Yep,
Tagkawayan.
yep, yep.
And
Pag
now
na,
it's
na,
making back very happy.
pag nakapark ka na, pinark mo na, 'di ba, bumaba ka na. Happy ka na nun kasi naku, buhay pa pala ako.
Yep, the KTM 990 does that to you, man. Like while riding, you're happy because you're, and then when you stop, you're like, "Whew, I'm alive."
Yeah. And then
Francis,
may
this is probably the most sensible portion of this edition of Tunay Na Rider. Oh, go
so
ahead, sorry.
yun, that's why we're happy when we ride. All the four happy hormones are produced whenever we ride. And even after we post our pictures after the ride, we see a lot of people liking our posts. That also leads to the production of dopamine. So,
Galing talaga ng
masaya talaga
dopamine.
even after the ride.
Dope.
Si Doc Michelle may message again to us.
Michelle
So,
should be here, actually.
Actually, agree with you, Doc Francis. Exactly why myself and Doc Atenida ride along with the hombres, the happy hormones. Yan. Correct. Kaya Doc Rollie, Doc Benj, do you guys have anything to add about the 2-year erection and happiness and riding?
You have to be good. You have to be good in sex, actually. I practice a lot when I'm alone, so I'm very good at that.
All right. Take it
I
away.
can
It's
insert a
now.
steel rod. And that'll keep your erection.
Salamat sa BMW.
Salamat sa
Alam mo yung
BMW.
alam mo yung stereotype na pang matanda daw yung BMW?
Baka yun ang dahilan.
yung news article yun gave a whole new dimension to that.
Ang daming bibili ng BMW ngayon,
Marketing
dude.
yata gumawa nung article na yun eh.
All right. Next up is Oro Plata Moto.
Di ba tayo magra-raffle muna?
At yan na.
Oo.
Okay.
Dalawa.
Meron tayong
kung gusto mo.
special. Special yung pag-uusapan natin yung bike ngayon, iba.
Ah, talaga?
Oo.
Ano ba yan?
100%. Di ba 100%? Pinoy made.
Ah, talaga?
Oo. 790. Actually,
Manufactured.
sabi nga ni Alvin, di nahuli na tayo kasi KTM 790 Adventure yung pag-uusapan natin. Meron ng 890 na lalabas eh.
That was
890 na yung
announced
binabanggit niya.
Yun na nga eh. Pero anyway, ito yung pinakamatinding ngayon eh. Matindi yung laban ngayon iba sa sa
Ibang
middleweight.
category naman siguro yung 890.
Hindi, pero middleweight pa rin. Para matindi ang labanan ngayon sa middleweight market ngayon. So So, yan, di ba, naglabas ng 790 Adventure si KTM, si Triumph, naglabas ng 900 Tiger, tapos yung V-Strom, si Honda. Diyan ngayon yung yan yung hot market ngayon.
Tenere.
Tenere pero nahuhuli yung Tenere.
Tenenwa.
Tenenwa. French. Anyway, ito, 790 Adventure. So, locally made, locally assembled. Lumalabas siyang 2 variants. So, meron tayo ng Adventure, standard, which is yung tinatawag nilang S, at saka yung Adventure R, which was co-designed with the Red Bull KTM Racing Team. So, yung Adventure Touring oriented yung standard na Adventure Touring oriented, whereas si Adventure R is more off-road performance oriented. So, yung alam nating adventure bike segment na was supposed to cater to a broad range of uses, specialized ni KTM. So, nagkaroon ka ng more road-oriented, touring-oriented, at saka isang mas focus sa off-road performance.
Para malito ka kung ano bibilin mo.
No, I think it's very clear. I would obviously go for the S. Simply look at the seat lang. Right? That looks way more comfy. I like the look of the R, but the height, just, overall, I'm partial to the standard.
Yun na nga din kagandahan iba kasi, like, sabihin natin sa tingin ko kasi yung pinaka-perfect 50-50 na adventure bike would be the GS. Pero kasi karamihan naman ng mga tao, hindi naman pinapang off-road talaga. Yung mga ibang tao naman, pinang-off-road talaga. So ang problema, meron ka ngayong bike that can do everything but is not so good at any particular field. Whereas ito si KTM, kaya nila biniak yung Adventure, meron kang S at saka meron kang R, para siya, doon siya mag-excel sa particular use na yun. So pipili mo na lang. Sige, pakita natin yung mga next slide.
Hey Sophie, what's up? Thanks for dropping by. Oy, wag na tayo magmura ha. Nandiyan na si Sophie.
Okay.
Rated na tayo. PG.
So,
Sophie's the daughter of Jay.
So ito yung kagandahan nung 790 series. Siya yung first, di naman first, pero one of the first bikes ng KTM na lumabas with the LC8C engine, which is normally kasi ang LC8 ng KTM V-twin, ito parallel twin. So first time sila gumawa ng ganyang engine. Check natin yung next slides, yung pakita natin yung mga laman loob.
Ano yung benefit ng V-twin versus parallel, Jolly?
Ang V-twin,
Nakikinig na si Doc Benji. Bakit kaya?
Pareho silang pareho naman silang twin cylinder din ibe. So parehong maganda yung torque characteristic sila at a low end RPM. Actually si KTM, iniba yung facing nitong parallel twin eh. Kasi 'di ba usually ang alam natin parallel twin either yung dalawang cylinder sabay or nagsasagutan. Out of phase si KTM. Ano sila? 135 degrees apart. So, para siyang V-twin. Yung yung fiery
V-twin yung delivery ng power niya, pero ginawa lang compact.
Pero parallel twin. Para nga maging compact siya.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Ang galing nila.
Anyway, yung makina ng KTM, kahit sabihin mo kasi yung mga high-performance makina yan na hindi naman normally expected na tumatagal, matibay ang construction. Ang natuwa ako dito, locally manufactured, locally assembled to. Pero yung mga valve tappets niya at yung cylinders are all DLC coated, which is yung diamond-like carbon coating.
Naks.
So
kung
parang tira mo yung cylinder niya, sobrang nipis. So, mabilis mag-dissipate ng heat.
Okay.
Pero manipis siya dahil dun sa coating. Kaya nilang gawing manipis. Wala na yung mga steel sleeve.
Okay, I get that.
So, dahil sa coating na yun, magaang na, yung makina mo, naging compact pa, mas maganda pa yung heat dispersion. Diba? Parang,
so lighter, compact, and efficient in dispersing heat.
At saka, at the same time, mas matibay pa rin siya.
So, since locally produced na to, locally available na rin kaya mga parts?
Yun ang tanong. Kasi nga, si Bakpago may 990 na hindi makabili ng parts.
The 990 wasn't made in the Philippines.
Hindi makabili. Yung oil pressure sensor po, kapag may nakakarinig na taga KTM, kailangan po namin pang 990. Thank you.
Message na. Nanalo naman si Carl na Under Armour shirt. Message natin. This is why we'll never be sponsored by anyone except for Lazada. All right,
Next slide. Next slide. Ayun, ito yung
At saka napkins, feminine towel. Feminine napkin ngayon. Pwede mag-sponsor.
Oo, maganda yun.
yung engine ng 790, makikita mo from the design talagang pinipilit nilang to be as compact as possible. Kasi yung gustong gawin ng KTM, they wanted the swing arm to be as long as physically possible. Pero yung wheelbase dapat maiksi pa rin for off-road handling. So yung engine, nililiitan talaga nila. Para yung engine, maabante nila. Yung swing arm, mahabaan.
A longer
So,
swing arm is better because
isipin mo
suspension travel?
Hindi, isipin mo crowbar yung swing arm mo.
Okay,
Yung
it's like a lever.
Yung kamay mo yung suspension. Kung mas mahaba yung swing arm mo, mas malakas yung leverage mo dun sa ground, sa gulong. So mas maganda yung control ng suspension mo.
Doc Triggs, na-gets mo yun?
Yes.
Are you taking down notes?
Oh, crowbar.
Okay.
Because
May demo daw sa BGC, pwede hiramin.
So yung ginawa ng KTM to further compact the engine, dalawa yung oil pump niya na gumagamit ng semi-wet sump design. Meaning,
semi-wet.
Normally kasi lahat ng engine wet sump, so lahat ng oil nasa ilalim ng makina. Ginawa ni KTM, parang 0.5 liters lang yung laman ng makina. The rest of the oil nasa isang remote na reservoir. Kaya dalawa yung pump mo. Isang tagalabas, isang tagapasok.
Wow.
Why? Why?
Like parang sa yan? Parang sa fire protection system. May fire pump ka, may jockey pump, may booster pump.
Jolly, ikaw lang yung gumagawa ng fire protection
wala kami
system.
alam dyan.
Jolly's like, the simplest way to explain it is if I use my engineering knowledge and my job history in creating fire protection systems.
Na ako lang ang makakaalam.
Yung isang pump mo, tagabigay na malakas na flow. Yung isang pump, tagabigay na malakas na pressure. Wala pa rin.
Okay, next.
Okay, next.
Basta mabilis dumalo yung oil.
Okay, all right.
So parang
Better flow.
nag-amplify yung isa.
Tutulungan
Mas
sila.
maganda yung flow. Okay, instead of one way, you're right. Okay, gets ko na. Yun.
Sleeper clutch. Standard.
Okay.
Orange.
Standard.
Orange yung yung
Oil?
engine oil.
Orange din yung brake fluid.
Wow.
So yun, sleeper clutch. So sleeper clutch, kapag binagsak mo yung transmission mo, dinrap mo yung gear mo, hindi naman skid proof, pero it prevents yung nagsiskid yung gulong mo kapag nag-engine brake ka masyado.
Which is
Which is
pretty standard
full.
in most bikes, adventure bikes now, di ba? Yung mga new bikes.
Standard na nga. Pero kasi lalo dito, since adventure bike to, tapos syempre KTM, you would expect off-road performance. Syempre, standard na yun. Tapos ang kakaiba dito sa KTM pala, vertically stacked yung gears niya. So yung gears ng transmission, ibig sa parang shaft 1, shaft 2, nakatayo. Magaganon sila. So
Is that more...
meaning mas compact ulit yung makina.
Again,
So yun talaga yung nahabol nila.
Paliitin mo yung makina para masaksak mo sa harap, para mahabaan yung swing arm.
Sana gumamit na ng makina ng Dio. Maliit yun eh.
Medyo maliit din yung power dun. Next slide. Ano ba? Ayun, off-road, yung mga off-road design. So yung, 'di ba yung mga oil cooler na ganyan, water, ano pala yan, radiator, ano siya, sa mga dirt bike, madalas sa mga CRF. Then,
so yung nangyari kay Doc Francis, hindi na mangyayari dito.
Binangga siya ng truck, iba eh. Medyo
Medyo iba usapan.
There's no design that you can put on a motorcycle that will protect you from being bumped by a truck. Okay, true.
Yan. Tapos makikita mo din yung yung scoop niya, yung radiator cowl. Sinabi ng KTM na parang aerodynamically optimized yan. Na para yung init, as much as possible, vented away sa rider.
Which it's about time KTM thought about that. Like, uy, naiinitan yung rider. Alright, hanap tayo ng paraan na lumamig.
Tapos yun, kita rin sa picture yung WP na suspension. Yung WP Apex, yung ginagamit nung Adventure Standard. Tapos WP Explorer, ang ginagamit nung 790R.
Magkaiba.
Magkaiba. Yung Apex, yun yung parang ginagamit ng Juke eh. More road-oriented. Whereas yung Explorer, yun yung aftermarket nila eh.
Yung lumilipad talaga.
Binibili sa mga, actually binibili yun for the production bikes. Aftermarket.
So
talaga yung
an
Explorer.
upgrade comes stock in the Adventure.
Oo, na fully adjustable na.
Mm-mm.
Pareho,
Sa R yun.
R, yeah, and the R.
Tapos
Alright.
ito lang, fun fact lang. Kasi may nagtatanong sa page sa Viber group, parang bakit WP? Ano yung ibig sabihin ng WP?
Oh,
Ikaw
yari ka dyan.
nagtatanong yan. Next
Ikaw
na.
lang naman
Next slide.
nagtatanong yan
Ikaw
eh.
na, Google nyo na lang.
Oh,
Next.
alam na namin yan. Sige na.
Oh,
Hindi,
next
maganda-
na.
maganda
Next na.
maganda yung-
Ikaw
maganda yung-
nagtatanong. Next na.
Maganda yung history niyan.
Kulang na. Isang
Hindi,
oras na
seryoso.
tayo and 10 minutes eh. Okay, so the
seryoso.
filter,
Hindi
Madaling
tulad nung
palitan.
Hindi tulad nung 990 na buck, di mo kailangan tanggalin para palitan ng filter. So tatanggalin mo lang yung upuan, access agad yung filter.
saan yung battery? Yung tanong ko yung battery. Kasi ang
Andun
hirap
pa rin.
sa ilalim pa rin ng ng tank.
Nasa harap po.
Sa harap, ayun no, sa harap ko.
So nandun na lahat.
Oh.
Under
Hindi mo
the...
yung
Buti
Alam-
naman
alam ni-
iniisip
alam ni
na
Doc
ng
Benji,
KTM
ah.
yan.
iniisip.
Binuksan ko na eh.
Alam ni Doc Benji. Pero yung yung naiinis ako sa KTM talaga, bakit yung spark plug, parang pwede ba natin ilagay sa lugar na mas madaling ma-access? Kasi kailangan mo talaga tanggalin yung radiator para tanggalin yung spark plug.
Dito
Ayun, pero
siguro
at least-
sa twin parallel hindi na.
Sa taas
Siguro. Kasi
Sabagay,
magkatabi
mataas
na sila eh. Hindi katulad nung V, alanganin talaga yung position eh.
So yun, at least ito, medyo, na sila, mechanic friendly na ngayon yung 790.
And rider friendly. Like,
Oo.
Oo.
User and serviceable, di ba? At least,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
Laki bagay yan. Sige, next slide. Yun, yung frame. Yung pinagmamalaki nila dito, yung frame, derived siya dun sa 450 Rally na KTM, which is yung ginamit nila dun sa Paris-Dakar.
Talaga?
Oo.
So mas
Ito lang ha.
magaan niya to.
At yung nga rin, hindi ko mag-gets sa KTM, sila eh, di ba, karamihan ng mga like Honda, si Africa Twin, naka-aluminum na frame yun eh. Ito si KTM, chromoly steel, na tubular. Talagang yun yung, nila, talagang...
Ako mas piliin ko chromoly. May flex eh.
sa bagay.
hindi
Tsaka
nagka-crack
hindi
eh.
magka-crack.
Yung aluminum nagka-crack eh.
tsaka hollow yung aluminum eh. Ito,
Tapos, pag naputol, pwede mong weldingin ka agad kahit nasang ka.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
sabagay.
Chrome Ollie eh.
Tapos yung swing arm ng KTM sobrang ganyan lagi, yung die-cast na aluminum. Hindi sila gumagamit ng
Yung welded.
yung parang ginagamit ng Japanese.
Oo.
So siya, more on talagang durability, talagang pang off-road siya.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Sino kaya, para kanino kaya yung mga bike na to, no?
Oo nga eh.
Parang may bibili dyan.
Oo nga eh. Uy, yun na ba
Made in
yung
the
slide
Philippines. Ang ganda ng technology.
Oo.
natin? Oo.
Ako gusto ko yan.
Ayun, may brake. Ito pa, may brake.
Oh, may brakes.
May brakes yung KTM. Grabe. The next slide natin. Napagdaanan na natin yung brakes. Yung ang gusto kong feature ng KTM, yung tanke niya, hindi siya kasing laki ng Di ba normally, ang alam natin adventure bikes, mga 30 plus liters sa tank. 17.4 yata siya, 17.6.
Maliit lang.
Pero yung range niya, 400 kilometers.
Tipid. That's ridiculous for
Ang
yung
theoretical
990.
Hindi
9
KTM
kilometers
yan.
per liter. Hindi KTM yan.
Yung 990 nagmumumog ng gas.
3 beses ako naubusan ng gas doon. Nagtulak pa ako sa NLEX. Ito. Si Bak, tinawagan ko pa. Bak, nandito ako sa overpass.
C5. C5.
Nasa gitna na overpass.
So iba, ano yun, yung araw na yun, marami kang serotonin nun, nabilad ka eh.
Oo, happy ako noon. And then may friends pa, di ba? So, nandun yung yung Oxy, ano yun, Doc Francis?
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
Yun.
Okay. So,
So,
tipid
yun.
sa gasto. Wow.
Sa gas, diba? May ano pa, may ano ako. Nako, meron tayong insider sa loob ng KTM. Alam mo ba yun, iba?
Oo, syempre, si Dino.
In next slide, pakita mo yung next slide.
Oh, sorry, wait. Oh, can we bring up Sir Hill's message? Sir Hill Balderas. Kaninang bike yan?
Kayo ng bike?
Nag-test ride lang.
Test ride lang.
Yeah.
Take it off. Take it off.
Oh, Tom C. Can we bring that up?
Take it off, Doc Benji.
Can we bring that message up? So,
Ganda ng pic.
yung best friend mo, Doc, si Tom C.
Yun.
Iba.
Balimbing.
Darna.
This is for Richard Bolt.
Naka-orange
end
si
of
Doc
an
Benji
era.
Balimbing.
Balimbing. End of an era. Ako, I've still got a BMW and I still have my 690.
Si Iba ngayon yung parang din naghahatakan yung yung parang si Constantine, pinag-aagawan ni God at saka ng demonyo. Yung siya yung nasa
I
gitna.
am a chaotic neutral entity. I love all. Diba?
So, kamusta
All
naman,
right.
Doc? Kamusta naman, Doc Benji?
How's your new bike, Doc Benji?
I don't know. I just took it home, and then I'm just looking at it. I don't know.
Richard Bolt. There you go.
There you go, Richard Bolt.
This is for you, Richard.
Again,
Later.
assembled in the Philippines, great value,
Oh.
and the technology behind it is incredible. That's a great bike, I think. In that
Proudly
space, in
Filipino.
that category, that's a really nice bike.
Mhm.
Tom C is asking how many accessories installed already.
Just two.
Kaya pala dumaan si Toto nung isang araw, ang daming parts ng KTM.
So, what are your thoughts? What made you decide to get the 790, Doc? And you got
Richard
the R.
Yeah, Richard Bolt.
R.
Richard Bolt.
R for Richard.
R for Richard. What were you just tired of arguing with him? And
No. I just wanted to try a KTM. Many hombres are on KTMs, and I don't know why. So
Oo nga
I want to think of it and try it also.
You'll never know till you have one.
Yeah.
you
And
never
besides,
know until that's true. That's
It's
true.
probably Philippine made,
So where's your first ride with the R?
Going home?
Pauwi pa lang. Diba, sariwang-sariw, bagong-bago pa.
Kahapon lang yan pero ulan pa ngayon.
Where do you plan to take it?
I don't know. We can go to Davao if you want.
Let's visit Doc Rollie.
Yeah. Yeah, Panay Negros ride. I like that.
I'm the next time we can do that, I'm down. I'm gonna do it for sure. But this time I'll take the Honda XADV.
Or Bicol. I want Bicol also, Francis.
Bicol, yeah.
Bicol is the infrastructure in Bicol has been
ganda.
incredible recently. I've seen some beautiful roads built there.
Sorry, hindi ako magaling sa geography ko. Saan ang Bicol?
Nasa Bicol.
I'll show you, Richard.
Alam ni Mocha uso niya.
Oh,
All right. And on that note, we'll do one more raffle.
2 more para masaya.
Oh,
Raffle.
sige na nga. Two more raffles.
May
Si
special
Tom,
raffle tayo mamaya eh.
si Tom sent some pictures for you, Doc Rollie. They're probably close-up pictures, and we'll see. I'll share them with Doc Rollie later. Let's do 2 more raffles. Let's see who wins.
Game.
All right, spin that wheel. Jaime Maralit Jr. Ito, regular natin.
Message ka
Did he
lang
win?
at
Nanalo na
follow
ba
up.
si Jaime dati? Parang nanalo na siya, di ba?
Hindi ko maalala,
Hindi
iba.
ko maalala. Parang
If we don't
lagi lang
remember-
matali.
Kung nanalo man siya, di siya nag-follow up.
Jaime, please follow up. All right, spin one more time.
Bakit ni-report offensive content?
Si Jaime na naman!
Ulit. Luto.
Siya ulit. Ay, hindi.
Nanalo si Big Bird last
Sino?
week.
Big Bird.
All right.
Qualified.
Disqualified now, sabi ni Doc Benji. One more time. Pero all of these have won na eh. Ayun, Grace Ignacio. Ngayon pa lang nanalo si Jaime. All right. Jaime, please message
Follow
us.
up na kami.
Sana
Pero
Metro
ibang
Manila ka.
Maiba-ibang usapan naman iba since lahat ng guests natin dito, mga medical professionals.
Oh,
Siyempre,
papacheck up ka?
hindi. Pera. Hindi. May
Hindi
magandang
sa
suggestion.
psychologist gali
May magandang suggestion si Doc Rollie na pag-usapan natin.
Oh,
Which is about yung parang ang dami ng riders sa Pilipinas eh. So, with so many riders, consequently, mas marami ng accidents ang nangyayari sa road. So, he was sharing us these very, very interesting statistics about mga motorcycle accidents na nangyayari sa kalye.
ha?
Oo.
Ano yan?
Actually, can somebody explain? Parang, can somebody
Doc
explain
Rollie,
to us? Parang,
please explain to us.
I got lost.
Okay.
Sabi ko mag-explain eh.
Yung first word pa lang, musculoskeletal, parang, okay.
Musculoskeletal.
Hindi ka ma-pronounce namin yan.
Well, this is in the realm of orthopedic surgery. No? Musculo for muscles and skeletal for bones. Okay, so in this study done 2007 to 2008 by this group, East Avenue Medical Center, PGH, and Philippine Orthopedic Center. Among motorcycle accidents, the most commonly injured would be the leg portion. Leg is below the knee and above the ankle. Then next would be the femur, which is the thigh bone. And these two bones are actually they comprise about 50%, almost 50% of motorcycle injuries sa lower extremities yun. Then
Which
the
is
rest
true.
are...
Because my dad, 50% of all of the bones he's broken have been his legs.
And then the rest are spread out in the arms, wrist, back, head, so forth, so on. So the most common. But I would like to add here, another common injury would be that of the clavicle. No? Dito yan, collarbone. That's only because I have one.
Ako rin, meron din ako.
Oh, pareho
That's,
tayo.
Hairline fracture ako dati.
Actually, ako na-fracture, tapos hindi ko rin mga 2 weeks na ako nalaman.
I think. Ito yan. So,
That's the crumple zone of the body, diba?
sorry.
That's the crumple zone of the body, the clavicle.
This one, well, it's the attachment of the upper extremity to the trunk. So it gets compressed when you hit your shoulder against a hard surface.
Rollie, you mentioned head, but I don't see any head here.
Because this is an orthopedic study.
Okay.
Yung head injuries would comprise about, actually, konti lang, 10 to 15%, which I recall from another.
No, we don't wear helmets, so I'm surprised ka wala siya dito.
Kasi ano yan,
Romy Bernardo.
orthopedic yan eh.
Okay.
So this slide is what that shows. Is there
Ano
next
kaya
slide?
to? Ano
So
kaya
my
to?
dad
Like,
just messaged, I had all of the above, Doc Rollie.
Oh, really? Congratulations. I think you need a
Collect them
medal.
all.
Valedictorian si
Yeah, pero
Ron.
yung mga na-award dyan ng medal, binabaon sa ano yun, sa buto. Puro metal implants yan.
Tago. Iron Man.
hindi ba to ano? Hindi ba dahil yung dami nung ano, like femur and leg, hindi ba dahil kasi hindi nagsusuot ng protective gear ang mga tao karamihan?
Well,
On that
madaming
area.
factor because read on the factors, madami dyan. It's first of all, of course, the gear or the absence of gear, the velocity of involved in the impact, the type of motorcycle, madaming ano dyan.
Tsaka yung
factors.
height kasi ng nguso ng sasakyan kapag
Tama-tama
tinamaan
sa
ka,
leg.
direct hit sa leg.
Okay.
Kung involving
Head on.
Other vehicle.
T-bone, no? Tatamaan ka sa gilid.
Narinig mo
But
yan, Jolly?
Pero
hindi
kung
buo pa naman yung
solo vehicle accident, yung baksak ng bike sa sa leg,
Legs,
sa lower extremity.
That's true. Just a slight spill of the motorcycle, the bike will fall on your leg.
Yeah. So, which is why it's common. And a lot of people, riders, overlook this. They think the single most important is the helmet, no gear. But yes, it is the helmet in terms of mortality, the cause of death, okay, sa motorcycle accidents. Pero kung morbidity, most frequent injuries occur sa lower extremities.
Are we going to show Doc Rollie's close-up commercial? By the
No.
way?
Nasa akin na yung nakakopy na yung link sa akin mamaya.
That's my first accident.
Okay, so I guess to summarize, you should really always wear some kind of protection. Don't ride in shorts. Wear not knee high, pero at least medyo high na shoes. Na if you
Don't
can,
forget to protect
riding
your
boots.
The minimum required gear is denim pants and above ankle shoes for the lower extremities. So yun, of course, meron kayong mga paddings to absorb impact sa knees, sa hips, and then of course the jackets, naman.
Show us the helmets pala.
Yung helmet.
Yeah, gandang yung helmet.
Skip. Diretso tayo dun sa may helmet.
Alright, diretso na tayo sa may helmet, Sola.
Don't be a squid, sabi ni Jaime Marali.
Correct. Ano ba yung squid?
Yun.
Pusit.
I identify myself as a squid and I find it offensive. Joke lang. Ano nga bang squid? Mga
Hindi ko alam,
sports bike,
western
diba?
na yan eh. Western na
Yung mga
terminology.
kamote sa abroad, yun ang tawag nila, squid riders.
Yung helmet na may statistics about.
Ito nga yung problema. Ang daming helmet available sa market ngayon.
Let's show the statistics first.
So next slide. Next slide. Yun. Yan yung impact.
So again, Doc Rollie.
They did this study observing helmets that were used by riders who got into an accident, and they looked at the scratches, the dents, the broken pieces, and this is the distribution of where the most injury occur, and you can see here that they occur very often in the lower jaw or chin area. Okay.
Mataas,
Kasi kadalasan sub ang baksak ng ng rider pag gano'n. So nauuna yung yung chin and lower jaw.
I broke my tooth because of I was wearing a half face helmet.
Talaga? So
Yeah.
you know, I mean, ako, I have two types of helmets,
Si
right?
iba pa naman mahilig mag-open face.
I like
Gwapo
open
kasi, gwapo yung open face. Eh.
when I
Oo
commute.
naman.
Kasi ang init, 'di ba? But after seeing these statistics, I'm thinking maybe just use one light full face even when I'm commuting.
Bili tayong carbon fiber.
Pero yun yung yun yung parang problem, di ba problem? Like, paradox ng motorcycle gear eh. Parang either pipili ka ng between protection or comfort eh. Parang dalawang bagay na naghahatakan yan eh.
Yeah, that's true. It's either like you're in all leather or you're in, a mesh gear.
Na long sleeves.
Pero Doc Rollie, what do you think for if you're commuting in the city? Would you still recommend full face or roll the dice?
I'm recommending this because that's what I use. No, I don't know how others would feel, but because of this particular slide that I've embedded in my mind.
Yeah,
You know, I don't look for any other type of helmet. Kailangan full face para sa akin.
So even a short commute, you'll use a full face.
Well, parang kunyari naka-gear ka, complete gear. Pagsakay mo pa lang and your bike is in the garage. Pagsakay mo, nag-slip yung side stand. Tutumba ka, di ba?
Yep.
Doon pa lang.
That happens to everyone.
Hindi ka pa bumabiyahe, you can hit and you can fall just in your garage. So it doesn't have to be a short trip, a long trip or what. Full gear is full gear, and I just go by the at-gut principle.
All the gear, all the time.
Right.
All the gear, all the time. That's great advice, Doc.
So that's it. And and this is why in my practice, like motorcycle injuries, especially here in Iloilo, no, that's why bread and butter sa practice. No? And
Ironic.
yeah. Then I want to hear Romy's reaction. Anyway, unfortunately, a lot of times I lose sympathy for the rider who comes into the emergency room, who crashed but was in shorts, in chinelas,
Yep.
in a baseball cap. Then tatanungin mo, bakit hindi ka nakagear? Kasi malapit lang yung pupuntahan ko, things like that. But then, lumayo-layo kasi kunyari pupuntahan niya doon lang sa kanto, lumayo siya napapunta sa ospital. So this is a sad thing for me, and that's why I want to spread this out, and I advocate this all the gear all the time to all my
That's
patients.
great advice.
Yeah.
See, Fred Teng has a comment here. His 2 cents. Full face accident na nga, di planado. So basically, you don't plan to get into an accident,
No.
diba? It's not something you prepare for. So when you do ride, you should follow Doc Rollie's advice, wearing all the gear all the time.
You
Actually,
wear
ano rin yun eh. Karamihan ng mga accidents, diba karamihan ganyan, yung mga dyan-dyan lang eh.
yun ang
Katulad mo, John.
Biblikal na
Hindi ka
sagot.
sila eh. Actually.
Pero, the part of being responsible as a Tunay Na Rider, is to mitigate the risks of, because riding is risky, diba? Motorcycle riding is risky. And it's our responsibility to mitigate those risks. And one of them is to wear proper gear. Now, kunyari ito, naka-full face yung isa naka 2/3 or half face helmet pa nga. Full face, the other one. Natumba kayo pareho. Di sino ang less injury dyan? Di syempre yung full face mas protected kesa open face.
Prevention.
Yep. And all of this
Mitigate, yeah.
So here is my dad's comment, Doc Rollie. Can we bring that up, Romeo Bernardo? Dress for the fall. And if anybody can has experience in dressing for the fall, it is definitely my dad.
Well, I really enjoy his, his earlier comments about the rider, especially orthopedic surgeon riders. I hear that all the time from him.
All right. So on that note, that's great advice. And I think if you go to the definition of what Tunay Na Rider is for Doc Rollie, Doc Benji, and Doc Francis, being safe and being prepared is part of being responsible. It's part of being considerate to your family. Again, great advice. I've learned something. I have been taking this stuff for granted recently. But now, definitely, I will suit up no matter what kind of, how far the ride is.
May I add that this is
yeah.
especially important at this time, no? Pandemic time. You may be well, and that's why you're out riding. But if you get into a serious accident, you might be brought to the hospital, which is not exactly, the safest place in certain cases to be.
Correct. So, baka, mag-heal ka. Hindi, bawal na Sperry, lalo na sa 990. Doc Benji, Doc Francis, Doc Rollie, do you guys have any final words?
Rollie.
Huh? Well, I thought I had the final word. Well, thank you guys for having us here.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to be sharing with you some of these things about riding and, the sometimes not so happy part of it. But, this is what we do. So, okay. So, yun lang.
Yeah, that's powerful advice, Doc Rollie. Really, really powerful. And hopefully a lot of reviewers take it to heart like I have. And Bach.
Yeah. Si Doc Benji open sa sponsorship si Bach sa mga jacket
Doc Benji.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for the close-up commercial, of Dr. Rollie,
Last natin yun. Yun yung mga premium natin sa mga manunood till the end.
Okay. And
Hindi nagbabayad ang close-up sa inyo.
and one last comment pala about the safety tip. Stay away from trucks. The drivers of those trucks don't see you. So as much as possible,
blind
stay
spot.
away from them. Yeah.
Hindi naman sa salbahe sila magmaneho. Talagang di naman talaga.
Di kayo kita.
All right. So we have a latecomer tonight, Ruel Maranan. Sola, we have a special raffle, right? If you could prepare that while I kill some time, we'll end with that. And then we have Doc Gilly saying, "Isn't Doc Triggs going to remove his T-shirt?"
He already
well,
did.
we have Gilly.
Doktor na rin. Si Gilly.
Doktor na rin. Kayo, Doc Francis, do you have any parting words or parting advice?
Yes, sustainable happiness is possible by being responsible and considerate as a rider.
Yeah. I'm having what you're having, Francis. You're always so happy.
Ano yan?
Dopamine. All right. And then,
raffle
Sola, can we do the special Ruel Maranan raffle?
Edition. Okay,
Dapat si Dr.
raffle.
Camara.
Raffle. Pinaghirapan namin.
Okay, sino mananalo?
Sino kaya?
Ruel Maranan!
Whoa, Ruel Maranan! Congratulations! Please PM us.
Huwag niyo kalimutan i-PM kami para maalala namin.
Di tayo. Hindi luto yun at all, man.
And then we will send you your prize. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
wait
Doc.
lang. May hinanda, may hinanda si Sola.
Ano hinanda ni Sola?
Yung
Di
ating
namin alam
end
yan,
credit scenes.
Sige.
So
Good night.
Play mo.
Let's play the end credit scenes. This is the first time we've done it.
Oo. 1970 na to? 1975? Si ano
Uy.
yan? Uy.
Uy!
Sino yun?
Rollie and Lauren.
De Garda.
Wait, can we pause it on Doc Rollie?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh.
I will deny.
DTI approved daw, sabi niya.
Look at that
Nice.
hair.
So it is true. And on that note, thank you everyone. Thanks Doc Rollie, Doc Benji,
guys
Doc
for having us.
Francis.
Thank you.
Good night.
Chis-
Ride
chismoso.
safe.
Don't forget to
Up.
take vitamins and exercise.
Sunlight.
Sunlight.
All right. Good night. Thanks. Take us out,
Thank you,
Sola.
guys.